House Oversight Committee investigators received new witness testimony from an AmeriCorps trustee that the $200,000 check that James Biden paid Joe Biden could only have come from predatory loans or from scams targeting the elderly that was invested by one of James Biden's business partners. The trustee also told the committee that their company paid James Biden $600,000 because he promised to use his last name and Middle Eastern contacts to help them raise capital. The company said that James Biden did not deliver, and now they are suing him, demanding he pay back the $600,000. Congressman, this is only a portion of the money that we have been told the Biden family has taken in. So is that grounds to remove him from the ballot?
Well, I think certainly if it was up to me, it would be. But I think what you're going to see is, this dichotomy of red states, blue states, and whether or not that starts to pick up steam in some of these red states as they see that the entire system right now has been politicized.
Right.
Listen, Congressman Comer, Congressman Jordan, Congressman Smith have been doing a wonderful job of continuing to be deliberate.
Yep.
The House gave them additional authority to actually solicit the documents and make sure that we get the individuals in front of those committees for depositions behind closed doors to get more information. It sounds like Chairman Jordan is hopeful that the president's brother will actually do that and go through with it, which is because he's being pinched and by both sides. And it's becoming very clear that Hunter Biden and his legal team have caused a lot of frustration behind closed doors at the White House.
Well, let's put the corruption.
I'm still optimistic that the House is on the right track, and we're going to get to the bottom of all of this.
And if you put the corruption aside and just look at policy, the wide open border has had massive implications, negative implications for American citizens. Customs and Border Patrol sources tell Fox News that just since September 1st, what are we? It's September 21st, right? So with 20 days, in just 20 days, there have been more than 200,000 migrant encounters at the border, with an average of more than 10,000 per day. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is now sending planes of illegal migrants to Chicago, the first plane carrying more than 120 people, Congressman. The border situation continues to worsen. Another reason people want Biden's name off the ballot.
Yeah, as you've been reporting, 10,000 contacts per day now at the border. It's truly out of control. You talk to some of the members that represent those states, they understand that. The breakthrough, I think, is interesting. The breakthrough is no breakthrough in the U.S. Senate, right? It's just, it's unbelievable to me that they're continuing to stay in D.C. and discuss this, which shows there's a real problem brewing over in the U.S. Senate over this issue. You know, in the House, we passed H.R. 2. We know where we should be when it comes to asylum. But in the U.S. Senate, they have continually ignored it and ignored it. And I know you're talking earlier about Mayorkas and whether or not to impeach there. I mean, there was a conscious decision made in the House to focus on the presidential impeachment process because even if you get rid of Mayorkas in the House, the Senate would simply not do anything with it. They've got a problem now. And the problem is that these mayors, as you've been reporting, are starting to push back. Democrat mayors in large urban areas are starting to push back. And that's a problem for the U.S. Senate.
Well, I mean, if you actually looked at the issue, you recognize, yes, it's time to push back. Congressman, thank you. Scott Fitzgerald joining us. We'll be right back.